Okay. I've been thinking, and one realization I came to kind of this entire month was like it's okay to hate yourself, especially if you deserve it, you know? Because I've had a lot of run-ins with just delusions, and I've always been on the, outer side of it, but now getting like having more real people around me, I can, own up to all my actions, like not even delusional, it's just perspective at that point, which is cool. But I found like I was like just, moping around like a while back, like feeling really guilty and all this stuff, and I was like, boom, like I think it's perfectly fine to hate myself for some of the things I do, especially when I know that even if they are within my interest, they're not for everybody, and that is not being cooperative or helpful or completely honest either. Even though it's honest in the way of pursuing what you want to, it's not when that gets in the way of other people and all this other stuff, right? And feeling regretful is not enough to mend everything. So just to like get my mind and like, kind of just like I still have things to do, you know? So I'm gonna do like this 2 year, or just like see where I'm at after 2 years of just like actively making, cause like it's when it I don't know, I never had run-ins with like drugs and all this other stuff. My biggest weakness has been my like getting attention, like just like middle child type thing. This like just like if there was any problem is that I wasn't getting the, or I thought I needed attention for certain things that I didn't, and the things that I didn't need attention from I thought I didn't need it, so like all my priorities was messed up, and then like as you get older you start to see things clearly, and now I'm just tired. I want to go to bed all the time, but that's not efficient. So I guess the main point of this is like it's okay to feel bad for yourself, but it is not okay to have no reason, because like if you just like be self-aware, be present, and just know everything's not gonna work out the way you thought or the way you wanted to, yada yada yada. And then also try, just try to, I don't know, like just try to find your truth. You don't always have to follow anyone. And like when you're thinking about something, it's just think it. Just think. If you have doubts, what are those doubts? And figure out, are they irrational or are they perfectly plausible? And like kind of clearing my brain fog. It happens very quickly now. And I'm like in this epiphany phase of life, and I've been introduced to Sneeko, and like he was kind of going through his epiphany phase in life, but now that's over, and he's not making as much like videos anymore. I just realized it's all a part of the process. So while I am making all these epiphanies, making these decisions for myself, that all like determines, well, where I end up, which is fine, you know. And I think I have a newfound respect for certain people and the way that they conduct themselves. And I understand why delusions is, I understand. Like I get it. I get it now. But it's just not for me. And one thing I do, like my whole new thing, program's going good. I'm not as quick as everyone else, but that's fine. I still have time to do whatever I want to do. And everything's open. I just need to keep on taking things like seriously, like I have been trying to. I've been in over my head, completely over my head. Been using massive amounts of copium, but like now not as much, which is cool. So now I just want to like see how many good decisions I can compound and see if I feel any better about myself in at least 3 years. At least 3 years. And I think what I'm 19 now, so 19, 20, 21, 22. I want to move out my parents' house by 23. So hopefully in these 3 years, I save up enough, make good investments, do all my adult things, and then by the last year, it's either like on the condition of me moving out, it's either I just gotta do what I gotta, like, by then, because I don't know where or like what I'm gonna get into, but I think a lot of that is just open. It's open, and when it comes to certain things, I feel like confident in how lost I am, become like completely lost, like everything's too open to a certain degree. But with what I know now and what I've been doing when it comes to just like, putting work into my body and my career, although there's like plenty of other sides in life I need to learn about more, it's a good start. Because like I think the bottom line is like, do I have a place to stay? Do I have money? Am I eating right? Am I healthy? So for right now, I'll just worry about my body, my mental health, and my bank account, which is like perfectly fine. 3 things. And like people say, like, maybe there's like, well, 1, 2, 3 other essential things when it comes to like life or having a complete life, but that can vary for a lot of people. So yeah, 3 years to see if any of my actions make me feel better about myself as a person versus right now. And though I'm not like, I don't know, I guess looking at my story up to now, I hit a rock when I just going through a breakup, very vulnerable, and I've been dealing with that ever since in a way. And like I kind of had a sense of like just like acceptance in some way. So like, okay, this person that didn't work out, but there's still these other people that like care about you somewhat, whatever, your friends, your family. And like I had watched this thing, it was like, even if you have no one, what are your goals? If you had no family, no this, no that, why would you inherently need that to survive? And while there is a emotional component to being fulfilled, I think I don't need to be happy, I just need to be grateful. And that should hold me to the end of time. Just being grateful, present, just another day. And like confidently lost. I have like, you win some, you lose some, and just be confident in like most of the actions you take. Because like if you're not, then why are you taking the action in the first place? So whenever you roll the dice, whenever you know it's a risk, just be fine with the outcome and be ready to move on from that, but learn and don't be a butthole, okay? I never really liked drama. I know when things get bad, but I also have faith in kind of myself of how many bad times I've experienced. And a lot of the time I've had friends to kind of just help me out, things like that, people to confide in. I still have it, but I feel more comfortable by myself. And I feel like that's really important. Like I don't need to have this outside source of gratification all the time. All of the time. I need to stop using crutches, even though I'm grateful for all the crutches I've had to get me this sound as a person. And while it's like, oh, maybe I haven't done or given back, I can just say I haven't given back to those people yet, because right now I need to focus on myself, give to myself, and then come back around and have things. Yeah. And just being like, realistic, comfortable in my own skin. I'm comfortable in my own skin, but I just want to continue working on things. It's like, oh, I'm skinny, yeah. But like, I've never been obese in my life, and that says something. I've never been overweight, and that's not good. Often, I don't think that's good personally. But I have goals on the board. Still got things to do. But now I just appreciate being broken up with so long ago. But what I don't appreciate is how, like how that emotional vulnerability carries on into my everyday life still. So while yes, I can like now do work without being so sad and like all this, like, oh, I'm over it, that I'm still seeing results and effects. And so, I've run into a problem because I didn't fully factor in everything. I wasn't completely open, and I didn't fully understand the situation I was in, even though I had an idea. And just learning. I've been doing it for like the last year or two. I've been just like constant ups and downs, but now it's weird because I feel like I'm getting desensitized to some things, and like those drastic ups and downs are now kind of like evening out a little bit. And to control that from not getting too out of hand, you just need to be wise. You need to control, because you don't want to be like this. Like, it's good that you can feel things, but when you're too emotional, it can get away with so much and no one wants to deal with you. But when you level out a little bit, and like your emotions, like from like, oh, high and lows, and there's so many different things on the spectrum of high and lows, you just I don't think you want it to get too out of control, and you don't want it to not move. You don't want to be unfazed by everything. And like, it takes a lot out of life, and like the point of all this. And the point of life is up to you. But the point of like mine, I still want to be able to laugh some things off. I want to be able to cry still. I feel like that's important. I deserve that at least. But you don't need to show that everywhere. You need to keep your composure and release when needed with different activities, and you don't always have to restrict yourself. You don't always have to restrict yourself. So I'll still be here, like uploading randomly, just so I can keep track of me and my progress. I think my main goal is to kind of like, I want to pull this stunt called job hopping, to where you have a job. Let's say you start getting paid $10 an hour, right? And you're 16, right? So over the years, you continue to job hop, and you go from 10, and you always make sure you're going for something that's at least $2 up. And you don't work there for more than a year or two, depending what job it is. And if it's McDonald's, you get your experience. Don't even stay there for the whole year, maybe 6 months. Hop to a different job that can give you more. So like, I was working 9 at McDonald's, and then now I'm in retail for 15. It's a big jump, but with me getting older and me having more things I want to either do, or more things to maintain my health, and it keeps on things get more expensive as you grow older. But if you kind of grab a hold of it now and build good habits, that starts to like dip off, and you only need a certain budget to maintain good health, right? So I kind of want to go to 15 to at least 20 or 18, and that's very possible. But the thing is, sometimes when you're doing the price hopping, if the if the job doesn't correlate to the next job you're jumping to, then the experience is off, and it won't exactly translate too well. So an example being, like, let's say I'm getting $50 an hour as a cemetery dude, and now I want $55 an hour as some type of operator or something like that. Like, the jobs are different, they don't correlate, so kind of picking career path, and also while you're still young, while right now kind of having a lot of foundational skills and different career paths will do so much for you. It can take your time, but if you kind of mix your hobbies and use time efficiently, like for leisure, like you can work out while you listen to songs, or you can work out while you're watching TV, so like maybe you really like Netflix or something like that. You can use that and like multitask, but multitasking too much can have negative effects, so do everything in moderation. Always meditate, journal. Journaling is important. I should do more journaling. I haven't journaled in a while. And like that lack of self-reflection shows in a way, but like I still sit down to have like critical thinking moments. And yeah, and so you should get a lot of, not too much, but you should always get, like, don't narrow your perspective down to just you, because depending on your age, you could be like totally out of pocket. Okay, you can be completely out of pocket. And even when you are, just take responsibility, do what you need to do, and depending on the situation, maybe you can get what you want. Maybe. Not everything's like granted to you, And like in my last video about like what do you ask for, what do I ask for, sometimes nothing is granted to you. So like basic human rights, if you're not getting that when you're asking and begging for it, then things need to change, and then rioting and stuff like that. But on a more personal level, if no one feels like giving you anything, then you have to go get it. And that's the thought that I was trying to kind of get at, and also like your importance to the people that you're asking said things for. That's about it. That's about it. So while I do like have lows, it's getting to, like I said, I'm tired. It's getting to the point to where I'm like flatlining almost, and I can like see it in my reactions. Like some comedies don't hit anymore, or some comedians, and it's like I see it, I feel it. But one thing that's been like always, like a decent, like raise my whatever, has been music. So everyone has their thing. Mine is music. And kind of a thought I had is to like being able to humble yourself. I feel like being able to humble yourself is very important. Just humbling yourself and giving yourself time to digest things, like not to be too impulsive, and make plans that are more optimistic than they probably need to be. So like don't be too pessimistic, like, oh, this is never, oh, I'm so sad, this will never be the same, like yada 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 yada. While that may be true to a certain degree, it's not always crazy. You must humble yourself, look at your situation, see what's plausible, and then allow things to come to you based off of your actions. Boom. And this is about to be like a 20-minute video. I feel like a lot of this stuff was like good, on topic, kind of. Try to stay within, try to condense it a lot. And yeah, that's all I got to say for now. I don't think I'm gonna be uploading every day. That's just not me. Sometimes I need time to think and then to have things to say. I feel like if I just ramble, it's like hanging out with people too much, to like hear all their stories and yada yada yada. I think it's time for me to go out there and report back and be like, this is what happened, and or like, run some ideas by you guys. And yeah, Yup. But yeah, I think like the main takeaway is kind of scattered. I kind of did that to myself, so maybe watch this one over like 2 times, and like because there's several different things I could have broken down to individual videos, but it doesn't really matter as long as I say it all. It's off my mind, and I can now go back to doing the things that I was doing while I was thinking of this. So I'll see you guys later. Peace out.